Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. We're here for a very exciting announcement to celebrate the revitalization of another piece of our city's history today that'll be done in a really classy way. The two buildings behind us made up the Jacob School. They were built in 1912 and 1932, so the first one is more than 100 years ago. And the school was operational until 1991. And they're the kind of grand old structures that we're proud of and we want to keep. Jacob's School was named for Charles D. Jacob, who was one of these mayors for life. He was a four-time mayor of the city of Louisville in the late 1800s, so an important person in the history of our city. This school has also graduated many folks that are important in our city's history. I understand that we have a proud graduate here with us today, Miss Joyce Harper. Where is Joyce Harper here in the crowd? In the back, keeping a low profile. Okay, thank you for being with us here today, Miss Harper. I understand you've got a lot of history and pictures of this school, so I'm sure they'll be important and valuable. The school building, though, like many old buildings, it had a long life. It was sold at auction in 2005, and it's been vacant since then. It earned a listing on the National Register of Historic Places in 2012. And so this is the kind of structure that's obvious it needs to be saved, but we have defined the right partners to do that, and we're very thankful that we did. And we are so glad for the work, the vision, and partnership of the Bywater Development Group, which is a great partner to our city, and you'll be hearing from David Dodson here in a moment. But David, we're very thankful for our partnership with you guys, so look forward to the project. So in this case, obviously lots of wins on this project. There'll be many beneficiaries. Take a look at who they'll be. The seniors, obviously, this will be the designed living space for them. This is why our city is the headquarters, really global headquarters for the Lifelong Wellness and Aging Care Cluster. It's so good for our economy because this is a demographic that's certainly going to keep growing in the coming years, which makes projects like this even more critical. This building is going to provide affordable senior living, which aligns with the work that Metro government is doing to ensure affordable housing throughout the community. We allocated $2.5 million in this last budget for the Affordable Housing Trust Fund. And then the budget before that, we put $12 million in that, and that's a loan fund called Louisville Cares, which is a loan fund designed to support even more affordable units throughout the community. This project also aligns with our housing work to transform areas like Shepherd Square and the revitalization project that's planned for the Russell neighborhood right now. We received a $29.5 million federal grant in December for the Russell neighborhood, the entire neighborhood. That will be leveraged up into over a $200 million project in the Russell neighborhood. So all these projects are starting to create more affordable housing in the community, which we have a significant gap, not just here in Louisville, but throughout the country as well. This project is going to have a lot of features that will make it last for another 100 years. All of the latest sustainability features will be present in this new project. The Jacob School units are going to have Energy Star appliances and lighting fixtures, community garden plots, a cool roof, and then also maintaining the beautiful tree canopy that's on the property and adding to that as well. So this is a great win, I believe, for the neighborhood and for the city to be able to keep a tremendous asset like this, repurpose it into affordable housing, and then position it for the next 100 years as well. So to tell us a little bit more about this, we've got a tremendous partner on this project in our Metro Council, a councilwoman who does a fantastic job day in and day out, and that, of course, is District 15 Councilwoman Marianne Butler. Marianne?
When we knew this day was here, they asked me if I'd like to speak today, and I said, by gosh, I want to shout from the rooftop, because we've been working on this for many, many years. I've got to thank Margaret Handmaker and Gina Dunlap. I took them on a little tour, and we rode around here, and I said, I really need your all's help on this. And through their connections, they found Bywater, and we've been working 3 years, at least 3 years, and it all came together with the Kentucky Housing Corporation and with Gabe Fritz now and his group and Mary Ellen and her group. And it's just definitely a team effort. I think you're going to see not only a fabulous school when it's finished with affordable housing, but you're going to see a transformation in this neighborhood as well, because it's just going to change everything. I think it'll be a domino effect, and this will definitely be a destination place to come and live and raise a young family. So thank you very much, and I look forward to the actual cutting when we have someone moving in. So thank you.
Thank you, Mary Ann. I know the folks in the neighborhood here are going to be relieved to have this property back up and active and people coming and going out of it. And so now I'd like to introduce the group that brought this idea to the table and the people that saw a future for this fabulous property, the Jacobs School Building. So I'd like to invite David Dodson to say a few words. He's the CEO of the Bywater Development Group. David?
Good morning. Glad you could all join us on what for Bywater is a red letter day. We've been working hard with all the team members that have been mentioned to get to this point, and we're real happy to be at the point of getting under renovation of this beautiful building. And it'll be a year from now or thereabouts. It'll be a faithfully restored historic landmark with 58 beautiful new units designed for seniors, affordable to seniors on fixed incomes, and with plenty of accessibility improvements that'll make life easier for the folks that live here. Much has been said about the team, and I'm going to say it also. Bywater is fortunate to have been become a part of this effort, but the effort has been much larger than Bywater alone, and without all the great partners that have gotten involved along the way, local professionals, city government, Kentucky Housing Corporation, PNC, and others, we wouldn't be standing here today. If I wore a hat, I would tip it right now to Mayor Fisher and Councilmember Butler, but for their strong leadership and commitment to preserving neighborhoods in Louisville and saving historic resources, we also would not be here today for this grand opening event of our renovation. So thank you to everyone involved. The team is awesome, and you're going to see a lot of things happening around here in the near future, and look forward to seeing you all again at the ribbon cutting when we open up in about a year from now. Thanks very much.
Thank you, David. These are complicated projects. There's historic issues we need to preserve. I see Bob Weiss over here, who's helped us so much in our community on preservation issues. I want to thank you, Bob. So I know you've got to be happy to see projects like this come together. So there's that aspect of it. And then there's the financing aspect of this as well. So fortunately, there's a variety of tax credits available that both state and federal and local folks see the wisdom of providing for projects like this, and that's really the only way that they can happen. And it's a complicated way to put a financial deck together, but it's absolutely critical for projects like this. So there's a lot of folks behind the scenes that make it happen, and frankly, most people don't understand what all goes into making a project like this work financially. But one of those partners that absolutely does is the Kentucky Housing Corporation, that's helped us on this project and so many projects in this community and throughout the state as well. So I'd like to ask Lisa Barron, who's the General Counsel of the Kentucky Housing Corporation, to share a few words with us. Lisa?
Thank you. Good morning on this beautiful February morning where it's going to be 60 degrees today. We're so happy to be here and celebrate with you. On behalf of Kentucky Housing Corporation's Board of Directors, Kathy Peters, our Executive Director, and the staff, we are so happy to be here to celebrate. And I would just like to say personally that if it weren't for Councilwoman Butler, we probably wouldn't all be here today. But her doggedness, determination, and commitment to this project is really what has seen it through and had all of us here. So thank you so much both to her and to Mayor Fisher. Again, so many of the partners have already been thanked, but we're so thankful for PNC Bank, Republic Bank, Bywater Development, Housing Partnership, Louisville Metro Housing, Kersey and Kersey Architects, and Altman Charter Company. so I won't read any more of my remarks. But again, thank you so much for being here and seeing this successful piece of history become successful again. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa, for KHC's involvement in this project and just lots of them throughout our community. Finally, I'd like to welcome a person that is a great community partner. That's Chuck Denney, who's the president of PNC. Chuck's fingerprints are on so many projects throughout this community, from education to development to West Louisville projects, our gigabit project there. They continue to stand up time and time again when the community needs help. In this particular case that he's representing us today, it's as a partner on this team where PNC's real estate tax credit capital was a vital part to making this project happen. So, Chuck, thank you very much.
Well, good morning, everyone. This is a great moment for all of us in Louisville to celebrate this marvelous development in one of our great neighborhoods. And we're so blessed to have a mayor like Mayor Fisher and Councilmember Butler, political leadership with a vision of making our city greater. I really believe our mayor thinks about this 24 hours a day, of how we can advance our city. And it really shows up. And have great partners like Kentucky Housing and Bywater, and my dear friend Bob Weiss, who I've known since I was 8 years old, to have him in this group, just a magnificent community citizen and lawyer and activist, and a brilliant strategic thinker. My partners, Todd Crow and Ryan Edwards, just these transactions are pretty complex, but I've got great partners that really know how to put these deals together. Deborah Williams, I see Deborah. There's no greater community advocate than Deborah in our city, and what great partners in Republic Bank. John Rippey and Erica, where are John Rippey? Please raise your hand. There's John. And Sheila, raise your hand. $3 million. This is a Republic time and again is always stepping up to the plate and doing the right thing for our community. What a great asset to have those marvelous professionals of Republic in our community. So if you wouldn't mind, I've got a few remarks I'd like to read, just so I don't leave anybody out of this transaction out. And so the restoration and reuse of the Jacobs School is made possible through low income tax credits in a strong public-private partnership among KHC, Louisville Metro, PNC Bank, Republic Bank, and developer Bywater Development Company. I'd like to thank all of our partners specifically for making this happen. Could not have happened without the team. Individually, none of these entities could support this project solely. It had to come together as a team, and it did. And that just took a lot of people working together selflessly to make sure that the main thing was kept to be the main thing. Our PNC real estate investment team, Todd Crow is talking about fingerprints all over the city. Todd and Ryan, they've done so much for our city in terms of reshaping it with very creative projects like this, and Deborah as well. But they've been working on this project for almost 3 years. The data around the project is $9.5 million of total equity investment was placed in the project. $6.5 million was provided by PNC, and $3 million provided by our partners, Republic, who has just stepped up and again provided so much capital to this project. We also at PNC provided almost $9 million in construction financing. So I'd like to thank our teams, specifically Todd Crow, who's an executive vice president for tax credit properties capital all over the country. Actually, he just happens to live in Louisville. We're grateful that that's the case. Ryan Edwards, who's a relationship manager for affordable housing in Kentucky, and Deborah Williams, who's my partner in community development. And of course, mentioning again also John Rippey, who's the chief credit officer for Republic Bank, and for Sheila Etchton. I'm missing your last name up, Etchen, who leads community reinvestment for Republic Bank. Thank you, everyone, for coming out, and we hope you're coming back when we have the grand opening of this project in no time at all. Thanks.
Thank you, Chuck, and a shout out to Republic as well. Thank you guys for all the good work you do in the community. I'd like to also, just here in closing, thank the city's Office of Housing and Community Development. That's led by Gabe Fritz over here. Gabe's team has been very busy and will continue to be busy for years to come, and that we like to see that as this renaissance continues here in our city. And then most importantly, I want to thank the neighbors here in this community. There'll be a little construction going on for the next year. But after that, you're going to have your proud new asset here, right in the midst of all these fine homes. And I think it's going to both increase the quality of life and just the overall neighborhood appeal here. So that's what it's all about, and we're grateful to the team to put this together. So now we're going to have a little ceremonial groundbreaking here.